examiner for the city. I'll be presiding over the hearing today. The case before us is case number ZHUV250011. Let me go ahead and get everyone officially signed in here. We have Wes Menzel from the City Planning Department. Welcome, Wes. And we have Michael Berry. Michael, you're the applicant and owner on this?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. All right. Mr. Berry, remind me, were you here for the last one or was it a different person?
I was here for the last one, yeah.
Okay. I do remember this case, but couldn't remember if that was you.
And my apologies, I had this on at 10, but for somehow in my mind, I thought it was 11 o'clock. I just picked up your voicemail back. So
all good, that happens. Okay, I need to read through our hearing script. Mr. Berry, this is going to cover the procedure for the hearing and we'll get started unless you're waiting for anyone else to join us here today.
No.
Okay, great. All right. So the purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and any other parties to testify and to offer and refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules of the zoning hearing examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any other party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. The applicant's attorney, or the applicant's agent will first present the applicant's case. For our purposes here today, Mr. Berry, I'll give you an opportunity to tell me about this project and why you think the relief should be approved. If there were anyone here from the public, they would have an opportunity to speak after the applicant has presented its case. I'll hear from the planning department, Mr. Menzel, if he'd like to add any testimony in addition to the staff report that he's prepared. In the event that any party testifies or offers argument in opposition to this application, the applicant will have an opportunity to respond to that testimony offered in opposition and then make any closing statements. After all presentations have been made, I will close the hearing. Decisions may be expected within 2 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or to make any comments. I'll do my best to troubleshoot any technical issues as we go. But to the extent there's some defect that prevents us from me fully going forward this hearing, may continue or postpone the hearing at my discretion. All right. I just need to swear everybody in now. So if you guys could raise your right hand, I need you to answer out loud. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you shall provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Wes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. Mr. Berry, you want to take the floor here? Tell me about the project.
Yeah, I mean, so this project was previously approved for the zoning variance, and what happened, my business partner lost his only daughter passed away, and that, has had a big impact on kind of our pipeline, and, just as he was kind of dealing with that process of her dying and obviously kind of recovering emotionally, psychologically from that. So, and the facts really haven't changed that much. It's infeasible for us to do, whether it's 2, 4 units there. The truth of the matter is, like, 11 units is going to be a stretch, particularly given all of the what I would characterize as shenanigans with the tariffs and stuff. But, the other thing is that, right there to the north, the adjoining property and that adjoining zoning district, there's, I think what we're asking for in terms of the variance is in accord with the surrounding properties there. And I don't think that it negatively impacts the neighborhood. And as a matter of fact, like what we're proposing to do, which is convert that church and rectory building to 11 apartment units, that's in fitting with the Plan Cincinnati, the last 2 iterations of the Northside Community Plan. The project did receive support from the Northside Community Council. So there's been community support. Like I said, it fits with kind of the vision of the community for itself and kind of adaptive reuse of historic buildings rather than tearing them down. As I said, the facts really haven't changed from where we were originally 2 years ago, or I guess it's at this point, it's almost 3 years ago. Yeah.
Okay. Just a couple questions. One, so is this the exact same plan and relief that was approved back in 2022?
Yes.
Are there any differences to the project from that
No.
proposal?
No.
Okay, so it's just a straight resubmittal of the exact exact thing.
Yeah, yeah. I think Wes and I have talked a little bit more about just screening. So that's been slightly more developed or at least we've had a conversation about that. But yeah, it's the same. Um, it's the same issues before you.
Okay, got it. And with the use variance standards, the tricky standard in particular there is that the property cannot be put to any economically viable use under any of the permitted uses in the zoning district. Could you just touch on a little bit more of that for the record? How long it's been vacant, what prior uses were, and any efforts to get it permitted under a use
Yeah.
that's allowed?
Well, so it has been vacant for, I think, as far as I'm aware, I'm not aware of it being utilized in probably like the last 15 years. And then there have been Maureen Wood. I don't know if any of you guys knew Maureen, but she bought it with the hope of kind of redeveloping it. And I think when she passed away, it sold to somebody else who had a go at it. And it's just, I don't to do that limited number of units in that kind of in that much square footage, that much area, that much space of a building. I mean, you're talking about, whether you did that or you tore the property down and did, a couple of new houses there. You're getting into very expensive housing that I don't think makes sense from an economic perspective. For that market, I don't think you're going to garner those kind of rents or those kind of purchase prices. Yeah, so that's the short and long of it. The reality is I'm not even 100% convinced yet. I don't know for certain whether even 11 units is going to work, but this is our best shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that may be too, yeah, the math may not math, as they say,
Sure.
Yeah,
That makes
yeah.
sense. Okay. Anything else you want to tell me about the project? You mentioned maybe some additional screening. What does the screening look like on this?
Well, we're talking about in front of the parking area that is to the north side of the site. That would be screened with with evergreen canopies, pretty dense one there. And then Wes and I just talked about there are to the north side of the property there was what was until very recently one parcel that had a front mixed use commercial building on the corner there. And then it had like a little, almost like a caretaker's little single family house in the back. And that was all one parcel. I believe you guys have approved a split there recently. But, there is one window on that front building that faces our lot. It is boarded up, but then there are two windows in that rear little, caretaker's cottage, if you will, on the back. And what I was talking with Wes about is I didn't want to put a privacy fence right up there all along the building because I've been in that. I had a project in Evanston where we had a building, the adjoining property owner had a fence right there, and it just when it came time to do tuck point or anything, we ended up having to say, hey, we need to take this down. You need to take it down so that we can do work on our building. So we talked about doing actually landscape screening there against the building so that lights from headlights or anything aren't shining into any of those three windows that are along that north side.
Got it. Okay.
And then the rest of it where there is not buildings would be 6-foot privacy fence so that
Okay.
it well screened.
Okay. So if this was approved with the condition that the landscaping that you've discussed is also put in, that's something that you are okay with or don't have any objection to?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all the questions I have. Wes, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, a couple things.
Were you sworn, Wes?
I don't know, I might have been thinking about something else that I did.
That's why I asked if you could hear me. Yeah. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
So there is one element of relief that's different from the previous version, and that's because of the connected communities adoption language in the zoning code for parking. The SF-4-T, the T part, required parking to be in the rear yard. So there's a relief item for that for this version of the case. but the design is the same as what was approved, 3 years ago with the parking lot in the same location. And then the second thing that I just want to mention is about the landscaping along the edge of the parking lot, that he provided a drawing with that proposed private combination of privacy fence and landscaping evergreen along there. And so that's, kind of similar to what was discussed in the previous approval and the condition. There was a condition in the previous approval, and also we recommend the same thing for this approval. So,
Got it.
thanks.
Okay, thanks, Wes. All right, Mr. Barry, anything else in closing or otherwise before we adjourn?
No, I just appreciate both your time, and yeah, thank you.
Okay, great. I think we can leave it at that. I've had a chance to review the application materials and the staff report, and obviously familiar with the project because of the prior application. And so based on all of that and the testimony here today, I'm going to approve the application. I need to formalize that, Mr. Barry, as you may remember, in a written decision. Mentioned at the beginning that typically takes about 2 weeks. I will, let's see, I will do my best to get that to you as quickly as possible. I know that we've got a holiday in there.
Yeah.
And so if it's a day or two past that, I wouldn't be shocked, but I'll try and get this to you as quickly as possible. I'll send it in a PDF in an email, and as soon as you and Wes have that, you can get the zoning permit approved and take the next steps.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, great. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day and good luck with the project, Mr. Barry.